Okay, let's continue. By the way, if you can hear that, if you can hear the banging noises outside, that's because people are setting off fireworks outside. Why are people setting off fireworks, you ask? Well, that's because today, at least today for me, today is the 1st of July, which up here in Canada, the 1st of July is Canada Day, if I'm not mistaken. You guys in America, you have the 4th of July. But yeah, up here it's July 1st for me. I know when this comes out, it's gonna be long after the 1st of July. But yeah, today is the 1st of July for me, which is why there are fireworks being set off outside. So if you hear the banging noises, that's what they are. So anyways, we need to find the Forgotten Sword, which, if I'm not mistaken, is just about right around here. So, the 1st of July actually isn't what I want to talk about today. Instead, what I want to talk about is what tomorrow is for me, being the 2nd of July. Because that day is a pretty significant date for me. The 2nd of July is the day that Billy passed away. For those who don't know, my dog Billy of 13 years, he passed away on July 2nd, 2020. It's already been 5 years. He was born on April 1st, 2007. He lived until the 2nd of July, 2020. And already 5 years has passed. That's half a decade already. You know, double that, and then before I know it, a decade would have passed. 10 years would have passed since he passed. It would be even crazier to think that, you know, in just a couple of years, it will almost be, but not even almost, in a couple of years, it will be 20 years since he was born. So tomorrow for me, on July 2nd, is the anniversary of when Billy passed away. And I tell you, I miss him every day. I think about him every day. 5 years since he passed. And to this day, I still haven't mustered up enough strength to actually look at his remains. No one has. For those who don't know, he's actually in the exact same room that I'm in right now, playing Breath of the Wild. When he passed, I don't know if every vet clinic out there does this, but this is the one we went to. This is what they do. Whenever an animal passes away, whenever a family's pet passes away, they actually bag up the pet and put the pet into a freezer, just because it is a dead body, and that causes for a lot of health concerns. And you know, not the company that comes to pick up the bodies to bring it to be cremated, if the owners choose to go down that path. Well, they don't come every single day. They come like maybe once a week, I would assume. But we didn't want that for him. The day he passed, we didn't want him to be bagged up and put into a freezer. So what we did was, the moment he passed, well, not exactly the moment, a little bit after he passed, after we, you know, cried and said our goodbyes. What we immediately did was well, first of all, he passed in his bed at the vet at the vet clinic. We brought him to the vet clinic in his bed so that he could be as comfortable as he could be. He passed in his bed, and we put him in his bed into a box, a nice big cardboard box, so that we can more easily transport him. And what we did was, instead of letting the clinic bag him up and put him into a freezer, we ourselves immediately took him to a place a fair distance away, but not too far. A place where they do the cremation. So we brought him to the cremation place ourselves. And then, a little while later, we got a call from the vet clinic letting us know that we can come and pick him up. So we do have his remains. His ashes are inside of an urn that's inside of a box. And to this day, I've never opened the box. I've never looked at him, what's left of him. Because I just know, I don't know if I'm able to handle that. And that was 5 years ago. Doesn't time just move so fast? And like I said, before I know it, a decade would have passed since, well, he passed. Oh no, I used the Scimitar of the Seven. I didn't want to do that. Hold on, where was my last autosave? No. I clearly wasn't thinking. That's not a weapon I would like to use. That's a weapon I want to keep. Look at that, autosave actually saved me for once. And I just find it unfair. Don't you guys ever find it unfair, the world we live in? Oh, I kind of figured you would pick that up. I kind of wanted to drop my weapon to pick up that one. But yeah, don't you guys ever find it unfair, the world we live in? Where, you know, life is so short, and it passes in the blink of an eye. Our loved ones, they live, they pass away, and the world will move on. The world will continue as if that person never existed. That's gonna happen to everyone I love. That's gonna happen to me. You know, one day everyone I love and myself will be dead and gone. And the world will move on as if I never existed. And that's exactly what happened to Billy, which I think is just very unfair. Yes, he lived a full life, a long, happy, healthy, full life. But, you know, just like that, it's all gone. It's all over. In the blink of an eye, he was born, he lived, and now he's gone. And the world will continue on as if he never existed. It's gonna happen to the rest of them, the rest of my dogs, and there's nothing I or anyone can do to stop that, to change that. You know, when I was younger, I would actually be made fun of for just how much I love my dogs. Even by teachers, not even other students and classmates, even teachers would as well. I just find it so unfair. That's the sad, cruel world we live in. Because, in my eyes, only a handful of people remember Billy. Myself, my family members, a couple of relatives and friends, but once we're all gone, then he'll be gone. You know that saying where you die 2 times? Once when you actually physically die, and then the second time when the last person speaks your name. And once that person's gone, once your name is forgotten, then you are forgotten, you are gone. I mean, not everyone can make a legacy, a long-lasting legacy that will live on forever, you know? Kind of like, for some reason, the only person that comes to mind is Einstein. Einstein died long ago, but we still remember his name. We use his name in, like, a mocking tone, you know? When we say, like, what are you doing there, Einstein? You know what I mean? I'm trying to find a place to change time. Isn't there a cooking pot somewhere? Ah, you know what? While I'm doing something to change time, let me go back to Kakariko and do some stuff. See if I can upgrade any armor. But yeah, it's like, if I don't carry on the memory of Billy and my other dogs, once they're gone as well, who will? I mean, of course, my parents and my sister will as well, but, like, that's besides the point. It's not only the memory of my dogs, it's the memory of, you know, Grandpa and everyone else who's gone. You know, if I don't live because they can't anymore, because they won't be able to, then who will? Who will carry on their legacy, their memory? That's why I say I don't even get the luxury of dying myself. I get the burden of living. They're all gone and I'm left behind. I have to live to carry on their memory. And it's not just them who are gone, it's those who will be gone one day. My other dogs, my parents, they'll be gone one day as well. If I don't carry on their memory, then who will? Aw, damn it, I scared off that other bloopy. Where's that autosave by chance? Well, actually, that doesn't really do much. You know? All I did was enter Gerudo Town and then I came here. So, not a whole lot lost. So, tomorrow on July 2nd will be the anniversary, the 5th anniversary of the day that Billy passed. My sister is going to buy flowers like she does every year. We buy flowers for him on his birthday being April 1st, and then we also buy flowers for him on the day he passed, which is July 2nd. You see, everyone out there celebrating during these days, April 1st, that's the day I'm crying because I remember it's Billy's birthday and just how sad it is. Almost 20 years since it's been almost 20 years since he was born. And then on July 1st, all I can think about is the following day on July 2nd when it's the day that he passed. I see 2 purple rupees. That's even better. And no bloopy this time. Oh, nope, there is. I think I kind of like Tears of the Kingdom's mechanics better, where the amount of arrows you can shoot depletes a certain amount of your stamina, so you don't just have a limited time. You know, a couple months ago, on April 1st, or a couple days leading up to April 1st, my sister was on a trip. And I was thinking, it seems like this time I will need to be the one to buy him flowers. And I was well prepared to do so, until my sister came back just in time, before April 1st, to buy flowers. She's normally the one who does the buying of said flowers, the purchasing. But you know, now that she's married, she's gonna move out soon. She'll buy flowers to, you know, pay respects to Billy on her own, and so will I, when the time comes. Oh, nothing? Okay. You know, I think about him all the time, like I said, but not only that. Sometimes I dream about him. I sometimes dream about our old house as well, where he primarily grew up and lived at. You know, sometimes it even hits... It hits me as if it's the first time I'm going through it. It hits me that he's really gone. And he's gone forever. And then I just get hit by this wave of emotion. And you know, I try my best to continue my life, try my best to move on. But I just can't help it but think about him all the time. He's on my mind all the time. And I'm sure the rest of them will be too when the time comes. And you know, this is just a me thing. This is just my own personal belief, so don't get too mad at this. I personally don't believe in an afterlife, which makes this world we live in all the more cruel. But that's just my way of looking at it. You know, there's definitely two ways of looking at it. Because I personally don't believe in an afterlife, I believe that once we're gone, there's nothing. Just darkness, nothing. Kind of like how it was before we were born. That's what I believe happens after death. So because I personally don't believe in an afterlife, I don't believe Billy is, you know, frolicking in a field in the afterlife. Or even, you know, in the afterlife with Grandpa. Which in my eyes is just so unfair. But that's definitely not the way to look at it, you know? There's another way to look at it. You know how I said before that before you were born, there's nothing? Nothing at all? Well, there was nothing also to guarantee you would be born, right? Life is a gift, or whatever they say. In my eyes, there's like a 1 in an infinite chance that you and I were born. Born the people we were. What? Born the people we are, born the way we were. Because there just simply is no probability for you being born. There's a 1 in infinite chance that you were born. I mean, if you think about it, technically, one of your siblings could have won that race. And I'm sure you know what I mean by that. So to me, there's a 1 in infinite chance to be born. So another way to look at life, the way that people should be looking at life is, you know, you should be lucky enough, consider yourself lucky to be born. Because there's... The odds were against you of being born. Let's be honest. You experienced nothing, you came from nothing, and you were born into this world. So you should be grateful that you were given the chance to live life, to experience life, even if it did or will end one day. I mean, not everyone in the world views that the same. We all know that there are people in the world not born into the luckiest of circumstances. I don't know. And on one hand, yes, I am, like I said, grateful that Billy was born into this world, got to live a long, healthy, happy life. Got to live his life in full. But I'm still sad that it's over. And over so soon. His life has come and gone so fast. To the point we're now 5 years beyond the end of his life. And all I can do is simply hold on to my memories and remember him. That's all I can do. I mean, there's not exactly a way for me to, describe to everyone he was a dog. He wasn't a person, I can't exactly describe to people. He was the greatest person I ever met. I can't exactly describe that as a dog, right? I can't exactly describe, like, he was the goodest boy in the world. Spread the word of who he was. Have others remember him. Know his name, at least. So all I can do is remember Billy every day for the rest of my life. God forbid I ever get dementia. And it also breaks my heart to see that my dog now, my older dog now, that he is in fact an old elderly dog now. When Billy was still around, 5 years after, when Billy was 5 years old, we got another dog. It was actually my suggestion. Because Billy would be alone at home all day when we went out to school and work. And I was worried that Billy would be bored and lonely at home until we got home. So I suggested to the family, what about getting another dog? And we did exactly that. When Billy was 5, we got Toby. We went to the exact same dog breeder, and Toby is indeed his brother, half-brother. They shared a parent. I believe they shared a father. So they were indeed blood brothers. Or brothers by blood. I remember having Billy as a 5-year-old dog and getting a brand new puppy. Young little Toby. And now, later on this year, in fact, on July 17th, it will be Toby's 13th birthday. And I know deep down that number 13, once 13 years has passed, there's only so much time left, because Billy passed when he was 13. Google does say that the expected lifespan of a Sheltie is 13 years. And, well, that was pretty spot on for Billy. So it breaks my heart to see My young little puppy, now an old elderly dog, who I know I will only have so much time with left. And you know, I love him and I spend as much time with him as I can. I give him as much love as I can. What broke my heart the most was when Billy died, Toby lost his brother. You know, it's impossible for me to know if Toby understands, if he understood that day what was happening. I'm just scared that in Toby's eyes, we took his brother away one fateful day and he just never saw his brother again. And my fear is that cycle continuing. Because, well, if you do simple math real quick, Billy was 5 and Toby was still a puppy. Billy passed away when he was 13. That meant Toby was 8. We were heartbroken when Billy passed. So we got a new puppy. Little while after, and I'm just worried that Toby, he thinks that we replaced his brother. There is a shrine over here. Well, somewhere over here. Is this the one at the Oasis, or is the Oasis down here? I can't remember. Let me go back to... You know what? I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to warp here, grab myself a sand seal to get over there. So I'm afraid that Toby, in his eyes, we simply replaced his brother. We got rid of his big brother for a brand new puppy. And I'm afraid the cycle continues because Toby was 8 when we got Sky, our youngest dog. That's a pretty big age gap. And now that Toby is 13, or he's about to turn 13 in a couple weeks, July 17th. You know, Toby won't be here forever. His now younger brother will certainly outlive him. And I'm just worried about that cycle continuing. That's part of the downside of having dogs that are vastly different in age. Of course, one will outlive the other. And yeah, I'm terrified of that cycle continuing. The older dog passes, and we're so heartbroken that the younger dog is now left alone. Impossible for us to know if he even understands what happened. We get another dog to try to fill in that gap. But because of the age difference, eventually one day that cycle will repeat. I mean, the cycle can easily be broken by, like, getting 2 dogs, right? 2 dogs of the same age. Is there a Molduga here? I think there... I can't remember. This looks like a Molduga area. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, I was right. There is a Molduga here. Ah, treasure chest makes me need to do this. My sand seal. Should I fight this Molduga? I mean, I guess I may as well. I do need the Molduga guts for a side quest. Excuse me? Did I just see something sparkle? Yeah, I did. Well, I was about to fight the Molduga, but the Molduga's not showing up, so I guess never mind. Well, we'll fight these Moldugas sooner or later. You know, it's also heartbreaking whenever we have guests over who were, you know, who did visit before when... Where on earth is this shrine at? I think I went to the wrong spot. I think it's higher up, actually. I forget exactly which shrine this is. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely lower than where I should be. Oh, it's this one. Yes, it's this one. Anyways, as I was saying, it's definitely heartbreaking when a guest comes over and they're like, "Where's the older dog?" And then we have to tell them, "Yeah, he's no longer with us. In fact, he's been gone for quite a while." You know, take for example my uncle coming in a couple weeks, maybe a month. Oop, I forgot he does that. Remember how I mentioned that? My uncle is coming over here for a trip with my cousin, his son. Well, my uncle, you know, he doesn't exactly travel to the other side of the planet very often. So he occasionally comes over here to visit. And he certainly came over a couple times when Billy was still here. It's sad to think that my uncle coming, and by extent my cousin too, because I think my cousin came over before Billy passed. You know, he knows that Billy's no longer with us. What can I say besides I miss him? I miss him. I wish he were still with us. Do I want anything for that spear? You know what? Nah, I think I'll pass. Well, actually, hear me out. You know, I'm also very worried about my friends who also have pets. I have two friends who have cats. And we know what will inevitably happen one day. And you know, I don't wish that upon anyone, especially people I care about, but it's just an inevitability. Like my cousins who are over here, not in Hong Kong. They have a dog, they have a big ass dog too. I think their dog's name is Sugar. You know, my cousins in Hong Kong, their dog passed away a couple years ago, and even I felt that. Because, well, the opposite for me and my uncle. I went over to Hong Kong, a little less periodically than my uncle would come over here. I'm just gonna put this here. And, well, that's gonna... I put that there for a reason in the future. I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, I went to Hong Kong a handful of times. And when I did, I would go to my older cousin's place with my aunt, like my aunt's place, I guess. My aunt's place where my cousins lived at, obviously. And they had a dog there too. You know, I would play with the dog. Okay, that sits on top actually damn near perfectly, so that works. You'll learn in the future why I did that. So yeah, I did play with my cousin's dog in the past. Technically, my cousin's dog was family too. So when I saw on Instagram that my cousins posted that he had passed away a couple years ago, you know, I felt it too. You want to hear something crazy? And I literally mean that, something crazy. So, in the year 2020, a couple years ago, not long after Billy passed on July 2nd, and, I kid you not, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was still airing. It was airing season 7, I believe, the final season. And it's almost like the universe gave me a message. Not long after Billy died, watching the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on TV, the episode where Enoch died, it was almost like the universe gave me a message to don't worry. Because in that episode, when Enoch died and Coulson and Daisy were beside him, the dialogue they said, you know, Enoch was like, how do I even begin to say what he said? Trying to think, is there an easier way? No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. The one I'm thinking of I already did. The one that we need to get across the sandstorm for, right? Oh, I tried to not get shocked by that. So it was the episode where Enoch was dying. Coulson and Daisy were by his side. Enoch was saying how he's been alone for centuries, and he preferred it. But it wasn't until he met this particular group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that being alone felt lonely. And, you know, I'm trying to quote him here. He's like, and I don't care for it. And I can't help but wonder that when I go, will I feel lonely? And Coulson tries to comfort him, because, you know, we know Coulson, he's died a good number of times. Coulson's just like, I can say with some authority that dying is lonely, but the feeling is temporary. At least for those who are dying. For those left behind, less so. And then Enoch says the line, yes, it can be harder sometimes to stay than to go. And then, you know, the line that Enoch said, you can stay with me up until the end, but you can't come with me at the end. And that's true. I was by Billy's side up until the end, but I can't go with him at the end. It's not my time yet. You know? When it was his time, I couldn't go with him. So, call me crazy, but hearing that message, those lines of dialogue, not long after Billy passed, literally like a couple weeks after Billy passed, and I was still grieving, I was still processing that he's gone. And then hearing that, you know, it just felt like everything lined up. Okay, so this is the shrine I'm thinking of. You need to follow the statues. You need to follow where the swords are pointing. Well, the shrine's right there. At least we got past a good chunk of it. And once we're done this shrine, the sandstorm should clear up. I'm surprised Link doesn't need, like, protective eyewear to get past the sandstorm. He must have those extra active eyelashes. Alright, delayed puzzle. Oh! I kind of figured that would just stop in midair. Unless I need to wait. You know? Obviously, if it doesn't work, I need to shoot it with something. I suppose this isn't... Oh, that works. I was about to say, I suppose this isn't Tears of the Kingdom. And then we have this thing over here. No, you know what? I'm not gonna strike that. That's stupid. And that's it! Shrine complete! But clearly not. We still have a chest somewhere in here. Uh-huh. It almost seems like I can... I was about to say simply shoot a shock arrow, but no, the ceiling is open. One of the simpler shrines, if I must say so. Oh, the doors stay open. Alright. And, yep, obviously that was the only one in there. Is this stupid? When I was in Hong Kong for that trip I talked about at the very beginning, we had dinner with my dad's friends, and in conversation they brought up that, you know, we had a dog and he's gone now, so obviously talking about Billy. And just that conversation alone, hearing what they were talking about, that started to make me tear up in thought that my dog is gone. So I got up and went to the bathroom, so that way the people we were dining with don't see that I'm crying mid-dinner. So I quickly got up, went to the bathroom, told myself, calm down, don't let them see you like this. And then after a couple minutes, I went back out. Anyway, so there is the shrine down here. This has to be the Oasis. And then there's the shrine up here. This one's a little bit annoying and time-consuming. So, save that for next time. And also there's the labyrinth over here. The last labyrinth that we need to do. Once again, head over, grab a sand seal. I could have jumped down from the tower too. I guess that would have been an option. But that's something better to do for the time-consuming, annoying one I just mentioned, because it's closer. Man, if you ask me, I think it's kind of bullshit that having 2 of 3 armor pieces for the stealth set isn't enough. You wear 2 out of 3 and it's almost like you're not wearing any, because you're still making the same amount of noise. Anyways, yeah, the red one, head to the red one. Had to check which one of my pins were even it. You know, one of the voice memories from Zelda Notes mentions that the sand seals evolve from some sort of aquatic animal. Well, that's neat to know at least. Oh man, am I using... Oh, I should probably use a... I mean, they don't add any damage to your shield when doing shield surfing. Well, not shield surfing. When doing sand seal surfing. But shield surfing definitely does do damage. I think this is the Oasis. Ah, look at that background. Yeah, this is definitely the Oasis. And there's... Oh, I'm sorry! Oh man, I've never seen that before. I didn't know they could do that. They could bang their head into the side of a wall. I didn't know that. Oh, I'm sorry. I swear, I've never seen that before. Anyways, yeah, this is, Is this the Oasis? Oh, no, it's not. But we are next to the Arbiter's grounds. No, the oasis is back there. You can see it over there. That's the oasis. Over here. There's the Molduga over there. And lucky for us, the shrine is right here out in the open. Oh, that's right. This side quest. This is the Ice Cube side quest. I can't just, like, you know... There's still plenty of space. Alright, we're gonna have to save that. Oh, right, the Champions Battle. I'm thinking, what is that? Well, while we're at it, let me see what other shrines I haven't done yet. Because I've done all the ones here. I know about the shrine over here at the Forgotten Temple. I still definitely need to do that. But I'm trying to think. How many shrines do I have right now? I guess there just isn't anything close to the Rito village. I'm trying to... I was thinking of going to the goddess statue at the front of Rito village, but I guess not. I guess I'll just go back to Kakariko. Not only to get the... you know, cash in the spirit orbs, but to see how many shrines I have. I have 96. Where's the remaining 20? I mean, I know a handful. I still haven't been to Mount Lanayru. The 3 shrines, I haven't done those yet, because we still need to grind for the dragon parts. I think this time I will take a stamina. Maybe the last stamina. Okay, yeah, I think that might be the last stamina we get. Now, I know it's not all 3 stamina wheels, but there... Oh, why'd that lizard go? It's not all 3 stamina wheels, but there's a reason why I'm not collecting a full 3 stamina wheels, and you'll see why later on. But first, let me see. What other shrines am I missing exactly? Oh, I don't have this one. There's a shrine over here. And obviously over here at the, Thundra Plateau, I don't have this one yet either. That one's actually rather simple to do. I should probably, no, I don't think I have time to do that today. For now, let's see what else. There's the one over here. I think this one's in a cave. And I'm out of pins. Well, I don't need this pinned. I guess I'll keep this for now as a reminder for next time. And I know about this one, so I don't need to pin this. There's the one over here at Typhlo Ruins I haven't done yet. Yeah, but you know, that's still not 20. That's still not 20 remaining shrines. Where are the rest of the shrines? Because I know about the ones here, the one on top here. There's also the one over here, somewhere over here. There's the shrine over here, the spot that looks like brains. Where is it? Over here. Do I have all the ones at Faron? What about over here at Lake Hyrule? Lake Hylia. Oh, no! I have a couple ones missing from here as well. There is a shrine right about here. And then there's a shrine... Oh, yes! Of course! Up here. I gotta remember that. I'm out of pins. Well, I guess now's a good time to get rid of this one. So, obviously that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Uh, 10. That's already 10 shrines. 11, 12, and then there was the other two springs. Where were they? Other two springs. Where are they, actually? No, this is one of the springs. And the last spring, I kind of can't remember where it's at. But, yeah. So, there's still a good amount of shrines left to do. Anyways, well, that about wraps it for today. Just wanted to reminisce and remember Billy's name. Let the world know of what these days mean to me. What these dates mean to me. April 1st and July 2nd. You know what's crazy? There's so many dates in July for me. July 2nd is the day that Billy passed. July 3rd is one of my friend's birthdays. And aside from my friend's birthday, I got 3 other birthdays in July. Both of my current dogs' birthdays are in July. Toby's birthday is July 17th. Sky's birthday is July 15th. What the hell? Climb, please, Link. And my dad's birthday is also in July. On the 21st. So I have a lot of dates significant to me in, in July. I have no regular raw meats, by the way. That is asinine. Because raw meats, if I were to use my amiibos during these playthroughs, would be one of the things I would have most of. Oh, look, bunch of arrows. That was worth it. Alright, I'm below the 500 arrow mark. Anyways, that's enough stalling. I can at least make it, you know? I can at least make it to... I can't travel there. But that's fine, because we have the shrine quest. We know where to go to get it. I can at least head over there first, so that next time we can start on it. The Noble Pursuit. I need to head to the bar. The bar in Gerudo Town. Hello, my fellow women. Anyways, where was that bar again? No, this is the... Was this the shop? No, this is the... No, this is the shop. So this is not where I need to go. How nice of the door to slam after I've exited. Oh, there's a goddess statue here. That's right. Look at that. A perfectly good treasure chest just buried with the rest of this crap. For the sake of saying I claimed the chest. This place clearly is not the bar. Nope. I can't seem to remember where the bar is at. Because this is the training ground. I mean, there's only so many places it could be at here. Oh my god! Ugh. Makes me think about the house centipedes I occasionally run into. No, this is... Oh, no, here it is. Okay, so we'll save the Noble Pursuit Shrine quest for next time. That's what we'll start off with. And then we'll do more shrines. See ya then.